What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well today. Today we got a special and different video for you. It is going to be recapping the Moneyball League draft, which we did towards the end of January, and now we're getting rolling with this season. I wanted to put together a draft discussion with some of my friends in the community who are also part of the league, so you get to have some insight on their drafts as well as my own. And we're going to start having those gameplays, the games themselves from the league, as well as another league from TheScann, who's also a part of this conversation. And we're going to have those here on YouTube soon. We've been having them on Twitch for the last couple of weeks, and excited to bring some gameplay here, some great players in those leagues and some great friends as well. So make sure to check out those videos when they come out. Now, we got two ways that we did this video. We did a long form video for about an hour. We just talked and had a few discussions about our own drafts, as well as the drafts of people that were not in this video. So you can watch this video, which is going to be a little shorter, and then you can click onto the unlisted version, which you're not going to see in the videos themselves, but you'll be able to click on the link and watch the full version of this video in case you want more in-depth discussions about this stuff. So this short version is only talking about our own drafts. So if you want to see everything, basically uncut version, you can go straight to that link, the unlisted version, and it'll be all there for you. We start off with an introduction for everybody, and the links for where you can find everybody are going to be in the description as they're talking about them. So make sure to check out all these guys. We got Kyle23, RayCheesy, Scan, and we got MisterGraavy. So make sure to check them all out on every platform, as well as all their games coming up. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Let's go around the horn and tell us where we can find you guys. So start off with Gravy. Where can we find you? Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everything.
Yeah, Twitch and YouTube is MisterGraavy, 2 A's in Gravy, and Twitter is at GravyGames1.
So my name is just RayCheesy21. Literally everything: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, just all RayCheesy21.
Are you on the talk?
Oh yeah, TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ray been at it, bro.
Oh yeah.
Been on the talk.
Throw TikTok in there too. Same thing.
Yeah.
One for everything.
Yeah. Everywhere TheScann. 2 N's. Don't forget the second N. That's a must. On Instagram, there's an underscore between the and TheScann, so that's a little bit annoying. But everything else, just TheScann, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, everywhere.
Yeah, Twitch is just Kyle23 Gaming, YouTube is just Kyle23, and then Twitter is Kyle23YT.
Sounds good. And I'll definitely have those links for you guys in the description, so you don't have to remember it. Make sure you click on all of them, follow them everywhere. Let's go ahead and get talking. So let's start with Kyle. Kyle, how did you feel about the draft, your picks, what you were trying to do with your picks, and how close you got to what you were going for?
Alright, so I started off taking like relievers because coming into this I figured they would go immediately because there's a significant less amount of them than hitters. So I took Kenley and I took 85 Chapman in like the first 3 rounds to try to like get some decent arms, but I honestly didn't take like another bullpen piece till like the 15th round, so I really didn't follow through on that. It surprised me. They went by really quick. Like there was maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 rounds where everyone took a lefty, and then they were practically just down to bronzes.
So I got Rob Dibble second, so that was my second round draft pick. So I'm like, right away, I'm like, man, I know I need to get relievers because I know how custom leagues play.
And I picked Mariano the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like later in the draft, I was like the 21st pick. So like I knew like a lot of the best starters and the best outfielders were going to be taken. So I was like, you know, if I'm going to take anything, I'm going to take my best reliever, which is Mariano.
For me, I didn't take a reliever until the 10th round. I really just thought it would be most important for me to get hitters that I was comfortable with. But after playing my first game, I'm not sure it really mattered. So I don't know how I feel about it right now.
In your first game, so we're recording this on Tuesday. This is opening day that we are recording this, 1 game in. So you were just mentioning you're not sure how you felt about relievers, but was it that like the 2 diamond relievers that you picked up, were they good and then like the golds and silvers imploded? Or was it a matter of just like everybody's just hitting everything because it's like all-star plus?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like all-star plus. That's how it kind of felt. I mean, it just felt like even if I was executing a solid pitch, it was still kind of bleeding a little bit more over the middle than I wanted to. And I just don't know yet if that's because of the lower overalls or if that's because it's all-star plus. I just don't know yet.
That's interesting. I just noticed this. For the group that we have in here right now, we were all within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks of each other. And maybe that would mean our little group right here is a little different than the expectations of someone who is drafting in the first 2, 3, 4 picks. So we might all be kind of like in the same mentality compared to maybe some people that aren't in this group right here. So let me talk about my draft real quick. We'll get to some more about other drafts as well. But this was my plan. So I think this is different than what most people came up with. I think at one point, like a couple days before the draft, I think Spore went into the Discord and he said, this is how many of each kind of card is available. So like 95 to 99, whatever it was, 90 to 94, things like that. He said there's like 290 of these, 100 of these, blah, 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 50 of these, whatever. And I was concerned because that's what I looked at before I went into my draft board. I went in and I saw that there were a very few number of 90 to 94s that were available and a very few number that I liked. There were probably like 5 or 10 on my board that I actually would have wanted drafted. For the 95 to 99s, I felt like for the most part, I could pick up whoever I wanted and probably hit with them. My second pick was Teoscar Hernandez, 94. And then I took a gold relief pitcher. It wasn't really the plan at first. I was going to take him like 5th or something. But I saw some other cards get off the board early. And I ended up taking 299s in my last 2 picks, or 95 pluses. Tim Anderson, Brandon Lau. Tim Anderson actually wasn't one of my first choices, but Brandon Lau I absolutely am happy that I picked up. But I felt like throughout the draft, I was like 2 or 3 picks ahead of everybody else. It felt like I was sniping a lot more people than they were sniping me, which is exactly what I was trying to go for. So I know Gravy and I were having a couple discussions like during the draft, and he was like putting little emojis on my picks. So I think he wanted some of those guys for sure.
Yeah, I saw what you were doing, and yeah, it was a good play. I just got a quick question. So for everyone who saw this draft, like who do you think had the best overall draft?
It's a tough one. Like it might sound weird, but I feel like I had the best one for my own sake. And I feel like a lot of us can say that about ourselves. I feel like a lot of us can be like, oh, I'm happy with how I drafted, so I'm gonna say I have the best draft.
That's true.
Is everyone on your team from your board? Was there anybody that you took that you didn't want to have taken? Maybe some of the relief pitchers. I would assume that Ryan Brookie wasn't at the top of the list. But
I was honestly, with my draft plan was mostly just kind of like vibing with what everyone else was doing. Because like I knew like I was at a later pick, and a lot of times I was sitting inactive for a long time because like I was in the back end of it. So basically, like I was just kind of vibing with everyone else. So like I had some players in mind that I know like I hit really well with, but not as many people do as well with. So I just had like a mental list in my head of players I was going to go for.
RayCheesy definitely took. I wanted Lindor actually, and I had never used Honus. So I went into this. Yeah, I never even used the card. I mean, now thankfully in his first game he did pretty well, but it was just like, okay, got to change that on. I just didn't think Lindor was going to go that. I just didn't think you were going to do that, and it really threw me because I knew I wasn't going to get Tatis Jr. or anything, but I wanted a shortstop first pick because for me, my draft strategy was shortstop, center field, and then start filling in the holes from there. And so I tried to go that route, but I felt like I got sniped quite a bit, to be honest.
That's the exact same mindset I have. I wanted to get a good shortstop that was good at hitting and great at fielding, and just the same thing with center fielder. Like those two were my big things. Were like I want to make sure I have really good fielding, but also cards that I hit really well with. I didn't mean to snipe him from you. That honestly, he wasn't in my plan. He wasn't my plan to get him, but it just like it kind of like all of like having the 18th pick is just like tough, because like, and obviously like even after that, not having the first 10 picks of like, I know that I'm gonna get Mike Trout or freaking Cody Bellinger, those guys right away, and like it kind of fell down to me, and I was like, well, I hit pretty good with him. He's got good defense, so like I knew that. Once he fell down to me, I was like, I gotta take it.
So for my team, you guys mentioned center field and shortstop, right, as like priorities. Okay, so I got my draft list on my screen right now. The deepest position that I had was shortstop. I have 15 guys that I would have been happy to pick, which compared to other, like I thought center field was a little top heavy, so I did pick Acuna first. That was one of the positions where the face of the franchise cards at the beginning of the year. I loved using Correa, Tatis, Torres. All three of those guys were in my lineup at the same time at the beginning of the year. So I've been happy to pick those. So that's where that was another thing that I was trying to get an edge on people because I knew people wanted shortstops early. I was going to try to sneak 88 Tatis, but he went like third round to Limsol. One card that I wanted to talk about for your draft was Robbie Alomar.
Yeah.
You got in the 9th round. How did that happen? What was your plan for that card? And was there somebody else that you were kind of eyeing before that, but realized that Alomar was going to be there?
I mean, Hornsby wouldn't have been the ideal, but he's like everyone's second baseman, so he got taken quick by Thuney. And I noticed a lot of these BR cards were going kind of quick. Like, I think I saw Scuffy take Feller. Someone else took like JD, I believe, or I don't know. A lot of those 12-0s were going, so I figured I wanted to get one myself. And I didn't really see a lot of other second basemen that I liked. I mean, there's like LeMahieu, but I don't know. There's him, there's Morgan, Sandberg, but nah. He's my candidate. I've used him before, and I don't know. A switch hitting guy that can field, I'm all for it.
That was another guy that I thought, like, I picked Lauer at the end. I thought possibly Alomar would be a guy like Tim Anderson that would fall to the end just because he's a BR card.
Those 12-0 cards, that's where I was like really. I mean, I know, a decent amount of people that played here, but like I wasn't sure how many people would actually have those cards. So that was like another thing that like I played into it. That like, I mean, because I took Casey Mize third, and like, I don't know. I mean, that might have been a little bit too early or whatnot, but I wasn't sure. Like, I know it's tough because I saw Chipper Jones go first, and I was thinking about maybe taking him the next round that came back because I wasn't sure how many people would have him.
I was trying to like sneak my glitchy, Corbin Burns, and there were cards like Brady Singer that people were upset about that they really wanted.
Corbin Burns you stole from me. I was waiting for him for a while. I was like, one more round, and then you took him, and I was like,
oh man.
I'm kind of happy I sniped Bauer though. I got Bauer around 699. I was happy with that.
That's impressive.
Really?
Yeah.
that is
He snuck. The guy before me, I believe, took McKay. I was so happy about that.
wow, that's a shock.
I caught some flack in the chat for Acuna.
Yeah,
they didn't like my number one pick.
They were
But
that.
the PCI is not the same.
No,
if this is Hall of Fame Hall of Fame DD, I would have been questioning my own pick there. But Acuna, I've been killing the ball with him in events, so I'm hoping that translates, especially with like silvers. If it was like all diamonds, then that's one thing. But the per nines and down the road and at the end of these games are not going to be there. So I'm hoping he does some like 6th inning damage. One guy I had in my eyes was 94 Edwin Rios. I think a lot of people did. I took that Teoscar early, but you got Rios in the 8th or 6th round, which I think was actually kind of a steal.
Yeah, I got him particularly, and then Olsen and Kelenic after because I like to hit lefty. I know that's weird, but I really like lefty. And so for me, I needed a guy who had the splits and he could still crush the lefties. And that's a card I had used a lot in events in the past and did really well with. So I was hoping to translate it. It did today's game. So I have high hopes for that card.
Scan, you made a trade already.
I'm going to try to trade him. And I was about to make a trade with Thuney for coins. And then I got a message and he was like, hey, so you want to make a trade for him? You want to trade Adam Dunn? I was like, yes, give me exactly who I wanted. Thank you.
Sign me up. Yeah.
So you didn't even have to ask for Adam Dunn. He
was just like,
I'm
down for, like, you want to trade Adam Dunn? I was like, yes, sir. Like, I haven't played that much BR this year, but the 112-0 I had Canna, Winker, and Adam Dunn on the team, I think. So,
man,
I picked all their boosted versions in this one. Yeah, I just want, like, really, like, I didn't have an overly set plan because whenever I come into any sort of fantasy draft, I just, like, do the best drafting off my gut. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the same for this.
There's some part of me right now that doesn't want to make a single move till season 2 because I drafted these guys. For the most part, like, I got pretty much exactly who I wanted or I'm happy to have gotten. And I would feel so bad if I picked or if I traded for somebody that, like, would do a little worse or it just doesn't work out. What did you guys end up doing for first base? Did you guys do secondary positions or did you do primaries?
I did secondaries.
Scan did secondary. How about you, you Cheesy?
I took Jim Tomei. He wasn't.
Tomei, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. I actually really wanted Jeimer Candelario. That was one pick that I was looking at. I'm like, I love his swing and I usually hit really well with him, but he actually got picked like literally like 5 picks before me or 4 picks before.
Wow, in the 5th round. That's
Wow.
really interesting, actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I really liked him personally. I'm like, I really want to get him on my team. And then I don't know, Tomo was there, and I mean, he's got 125 pop against righties.
I think the most interesting part of the draft for me was the bullpen. And once we got towards the latter end of the relievers, it was getting very nitpicky at that point.
Just find sinkers. Just find sinkers. That was right.
Sinkers and cutters. Where
Facts.
can I find those?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's one thing I really loved about this draft was everyone had so many different strategies because everyone plays differently, and in a lot of ways you can kind of get a snapshot of the kind of player you are just by looking at that team.
Once again, thank you guys for being on. Everybody watching, if you enjoy this content, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, wherever you find these guys, wherever you come across them, make sure to check them out as well. Great people. Glad to be friends with all of them in the community and many more in these leagues and Scans League as well. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.